Hi, I'm Trevor Blumenau, CEO of Voodoo Robotics, and I just wanted to take you through a quick rundown of how to add a new device into your system. It's a relatively simple process. Essentially, you need an area and a location in order to add a device in the system first, and then you associate that location with the device. So let me walk you through it. I'm using an Android, by the way, over here. It's already got the SKU-Keeper app running on it. You can add that if need be. It's a free app. You can get it from the Google Play Store, or if you're using a Fire device, you can get it from the App Store on Amazon. Free device. Once you run the device, once you run the app, it'll prompt you for a username and password. But you can see here, actually, I'm already logged in. So, and actually, you can see here, this is a demo account. So there are a bunch of locations already defined here. When your system comes up, you won't have any, locations defined at first. But this is the procedure. Essentially, first thing you got to do is define an area. So I'll go to all areas, and then I just say add a new area down here at the bottom. And you can select any area name you like. Let's say you've got an aisle. Maybe it's aisle 1. That could be an area, or maybe a shipping area. So the idea is that areas are made up of locations. So your shipping area might have a location called Dock 1, another one called Dock 2, and another one called Dock 3, or something like that. So it's a hierarchy. You've got locations all come together to make each area. So we're going to create a new area. Let's call it new area. Simple. New area, and I can ignore some of this information in here. By the way, if you push the question mark button at the top there, you can see there's some help videos and a guide me function that can also help you through this whole process. We have very good videos that are built into the software to help you through the process. Okay, so to create my new area, I'm just going to hit save now on my new area. Okay, so now you can see at the top of my list, I've got that new area over there. And now if I go to the list of locations, again, your list is probably going to be empty when you start. You may not have locations. By the way, you could also, if you notice down at the bottom, there's an import locations from file. So you could import your areas and locations from a spreadsheet if you wanted to. In this particular case, we're just going to add a new location, and we'll call it new location. New location, and this is where it becomes really important that you look carefully. So if you look here on this page, you can see that there's a device line right here, and if I put my cursor in that line, you can actually see that there's a little pop-up icon that appears next to the device, and it's got a little downward arrow on it, and that downward arrow is to signify the button push on the device. Now watch what happens when I push the button on the device with my cursor in that location. If I push the button on the device, you'll see that the device pops up with the ID. It's the same as the ID on the device. And you can see below it, there's actually a menu that appears there with only that item in it. Now if I click on that menu item, you can see that in the parentheses there's a little code that appears in parentheses next to the device ID. That's very important. If you don't see that code, you've probably done something wrong. So in order to add a device, you have to see that code next to the device ID. Now the last step obviously is to select the area for this location, and I'm going to select new area as we just created, and then I hit save. Now as soon as I hit save, in our system, in the database, that new location is now associated with this device, and so because you already presumably have your turbo running, it'll automatically populate the device with the new location information. You can see there it already put the location information and the area information into this device. Now this is device ID, it starts with E04. So just to show you, I can go in here to all the devices and select E04 there. It's already selected for me. I can look at that device ID in the system now that it's been added, and I can click, for example, Identify Device. It takes a couple of seconds to go through the system, but it should pop up and play a little tune to identify. There you go. And so now you can be sure that it's in the system and ready to go. I hope you enjoyed that little video. Of course, it makes a lot of sense to set up these devices with them all in front of you before you put them, you know, on your racks or whatever. But certainly if they're on your racks, you can walk around with your Android device, and just by pushing the button on the tag, you can register you know, each device in a different location. And that's the basics of our system. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you.